Off to Massey Hall. My concert sold out too, I heard. If you'd asked me, like, when I was younger, that I would, have a guitar and be heading to Massey Hall, I'd be like, what? I was like, a little surreal. Like, what I got no business being anywhere near that place. It's one of the coolest intimate venues, like, in Canada. For Dallas, the musician he is and like what his, music's done for me personally, and now actually friends with him and going to this iconic venue as well. I don't know what we're talking about, but I'm sure it's hockey and music, which are two of my favorite things. Hope you guys get some good shots of this. Like, I sent it to all my boys, just heading onto the stage in Massey Hall. Like, what's next after this? I'd probably play Rogers Center. Ed Sheeran will be opening for me. It'll be great.
Hi, bud.
The headliner's here now. What's up, my man?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. How are things?
Welcome to the Mother Church.
This looks unbelievable, eh?
You've seen shows here.
I've seen just one, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. I never thought in a million years I'd be walking into Massey Hall with a guitar.
With a guitar? How's your hand?
It's good. It's a little tough to play guitar, but it's a bit of a sausage finger right now. But...
Oh, okay, but you'll be able to play guitar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Once you're, okay.
And hockey, too.
Well, that's fun. Well,
actually, the main thing was like, hey, when can I play guitar? Who cares about the playoffs or anything? I'm like, when can I play guitar again?
Therapy.
I might smash that. Play a little Alexis, and I'll just kind of...
I've never done it. Oh, actually, I did do it on purpose once. I was gonna say I've never done that on purpose, because usually I'm reserved about that stuff. But yeah, I did. I just remembered that the last...
Wait, with Alexis or with you?
Alexis, yeah. The last show we played when we sort of broke up and did like the farewell tour.
Yeah.
I destroyed a guitar.
I'm gonna take this off, that's fine. I'll throw it to one of the fans.
Throw it to one of the fans.
Right there, yeah.
And?
I was really nervous. First meeting him, I just didn't want to come off a certain way, but for everything his music's kind of done for me and such. Yeah, I was very nerve-wracking to meet him.
I remember the first night I played here, I was terrified, and I finished and I walked straight off stage and I just collapsed on the couch and I was like, I did it.
Shortly after chatting with him, he was just such an easygoing guy, and just we just hit it off right away.
I think whenever you meet somebody and connect on a deeper human level, but then also appreciate each other's work ethic and all the sort of stuff that comes along with what you do and the reason you met, that's what I'm always drawn to.
So we got hooked up, one of my good friends, Quincy,
yeah.
Kyle Quincy. He connected us.
But before you start, I didn't meet you while you were playing in Colorado, right? Did we meet when you were...
I was with Buffalo then, came to that Niagara show.
Yeah, at the winery.
Which is incredible. So there was maybe not even 1,000 people there?
Intimate and interactive kind of thing.
Which was, so cool. But then we connected there, and then, then we actually really got to hang out. It was in Winnipeg, 2019 playoffs.
2019, Rise in the playoffs. I think he did pretty well that year. But I was on tour with Alice in Chains, and the merch guy for Alice in Chains was from St. Louis, and this just monster blues fan, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my buddy plays on the blues, and he was like, who? And I was like, oh, Ryan O'Reilly. He's like, Ryan O'Reilly? And I'm like, yeah. But in my head, I'm thinking, I think Ryan's coming to the show tonight, so I'm gonna do a little, So we had Ryan up in the dressing room, and then we made John like there was an emergency and he had to come up to the dressing room, and he comes up and he's like, what do you need? And I'm like, Ryan O'Reilly. And he's just like, no!
I remember being so cool for me, obviously just getting hanging with you guys and such, but also seeing you with the Alice in Chains guys and how, talking about them, how it's this is why you got into music. And honestly, it made it a lot easier for me to talk to you. It was so special and such, and here there with them, the guys have done so much for you. It was just kind of cool. It kind of put
Well, it's like that inspirational relay kind of thing where it's like I feel like we can get caught up. I don't know if you feel this way, but I think we get caught up in what we're doing that we forget the way people will perceive it. Mm-hmm. Maybe before you met me, before you know me, you think, oh, this guy's music means something to me, or he's this, you look up to guys who play in bands, but then you meet them and you're like, oh, it's just a person.
Yeah.
Right, but then you can see me interacting with Jerry Cantrell, who's literally the guy who made me want to play guitar.
Yeah, and that's like for me to be able to see that was kind of like it was crazy. Like just looking
but
back.
do you remember
on how,
this? Is funny. Do you remember that night your curfew was like 9:30, and Chains went on at 9, and you were like, I'm gonna watch a bit, and I'm like, okay, and then it's like 9:25, and we're on the side of the stage watching them, and I'm like, you gotta go, and you're like, maybe I could stay for it. I'm like, you gotta go. Like, you gotta go. You're in the Stanley Cup playoffs, you know? But you did go, and you won.
Music for me is a huge impact on not just hockey, but life in general. It's such a part of my life that I enjoy so much, and having the luxury to be able to learn it and play music too, and be around people and meet musicians too that I admire. It's something that I just find so special.
It was that 2019 when I was kind of in that run to the Cup, where we just connected a little bit on a deeper human level. I remember that run. It was cool because I was out on the road. We were really like connecting a lot during that run, and it was cool. I got to come see.
You came to what game?
Came to
game 2 in Boston?
I think it was game 2.
Or no,
maybe.
It was game 1. I think game 1, and we lost it.
You did lose. I remember you lost, and I was like, it's my fault. I just swore. Pardon me. But yeah, I remember there was a couple of times where I was thinking, should I be talking to him like during the run, like where I was like, am I ruining it? But then you won, man. It was nuts.
Obviously, I'm a big Dallas fan, but I'm very eclectic though. I kind of, with my mom, she was driving to hockey. It was always R&B. It was, it was Marvin Gaye. It was, the Gap Band. Earth, Wind & Fire. All those, and that was kind of like my first love into music was that. And then, with my brother, he was the one who introduced me to Dallas's music. And Save Your Scissors was kind of the first song that we kind of got hooked on, and kind of came from there.
So save your scissors for someone else's skin. My surface is so tough, I don't think the blade will dig in.
I don't know how you feel about this, but like I'm one of those guys who like music is my life. It is my passion. It is my it's in my blood, I think. But it's like I watch sports or I watch, something, and I mean, there's a part of me that would like, if I was taller, I would like think that I'd be in the NBA. I know I wouldn't be. Like when you came out here with your guitar and you're like, I never thought I'd be walking into here with a guitar. Like, do you have that aspiration at all? Or did music mean that much to you where you felt like you wanted to do it? Or no?
I kind of got into it later. I think my 14th birthday, I got a guitar. I wanted to get into it. It was tough to kind of learn, but that kind of gave me kind of the start. But like I've always been in love with music, and if I didn't maybe go on the sports, but I love just being around music and being around people in it, and to do something with it. Obviously, everyone would love to play and such like that. And I wish I could.
Yeah, like I feel the same way. Like it's like I know that music is like a good sort of escape for you too, right? Like you use it in the locker room, or you're just like when I mean, it's the same way I use it. It's what I do as well for a living. But the thing that I love so much about sport is that there is a winner and a loser, and there's the competition, because I don't look at music that way at all. But I love watching people have to go out there and believe they're the best, and find that will to win in them. There's something about that. I don't know if it's like, again, maybe it's the writer in me that likes the drama or the story of it too.
I know for myself, like when I'm playing my best and such, and I'm so engaged, like there's no ego involved, I'm so just engaged in what I'm doing, and I'm just, whatever comes, it's like I deal with, and I'm just so present. Is it the same thing for you? Like your best show is just like,
yes,
you hit every note to hit every note. You hit that, like, it's where you're so engaged. Is that?
Absolutely. For me, the shows that are the most transcendent moments are where it feels like it's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing in that moment.
Yeah.
Where it's just coming out of me. And I feel like there's an energy exchange between the crowd and the band, and it's just like the whole room is moving as one.
Yeah.
Those are the moments, But they're not every day, right?
No.
And it's like, I feel like that's a very similar thing, right? It's like
I'm chasing that every time. Like how can I get into this pulse of this game and impact it the way I want?
I don't know if you feel this way, but having to realize that it's not going to be there every night.
Yeah.
And then moving through that as well, right? Because I have this saying where I know that the best night of my life is right there. It's possible because I've had it, and I've had it trumped many times where like I play another show and it's like, this is the best show I've ever played.
Yeah.
So when I go out and that doesn't happen, it's like, how do you work through that? How do you not dwell on what you did wrong, and I get to go out the next day and look for it again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like finding those moments to power through when it sucks, like when you break your hand, you know?
Yeah, it is. I understand when you mean like that for me. Sometimes too, I've had some of my best games and I felt the worst. Like not having my energy, the thought kind of releases. Just get through the next shift. The next, you're not thinking about results or anything. You just kind of fully engage and just try to get through it. But it heightens something. And I'm like, step out of the game. I'm like, I felt like, but sorry. That's all right. Sorry, I felt bad. And then
you got a hockey player and a guy in a rock band. There's gonna be some swearing.
But that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is,
capture
man.
Working through that and
I know you guys like have to get out there and compete, and it's like there's no excuses. And there's so many days where I've just been on the road, and I'm living in a tour bus, and I don't want to go out and play.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's those days where you walk out like that, and then a lot of those times is when it is the best show.
Yeah.
Where it just sort of like the healing power of music hits you in the face, and you're like, oh right, I get to play my guitar for a living. This is incredible.
Leafs, Tavares, and across the line, in for Marner. Marner swings it in front. O'Reilly scores! Ryan O'Reilly, the Clinton, Ontario native, gets his first in a Leaf uniform, and he's got another chance. In for a goal! Never mind one! Oh, Pastafree Riley has two!
Come to Toronto, the buzz in my family is insane, and just like everyone's just is so excited. And obviously there's a long road ahead and a challenging road, but just like how much everyone is there and feels closer to it. There's got to be this certain energy to a crowd too, and
I think too, just
I've been in them a lot too, of like I'm hanging on every word, every note. Like
there's that, right? Like I'm really trying to perform and do my best, and I sometimes will lock eyes with somebody who's just singing along so passionately. Yeah. You know, maybe to the chagrin of the people next to them, but like you can see how much the music is moving them. Yeah. And that fires me up.
Well, it's funny because I would think, there's songs I'd love to ask you about, but I kind of don't, because it hits me in a certain way that I kind of I love that, and I'm curious if you were thinking, oh no, I was kind of in this kind of place, it might change the way.
No, I don't think it would.
Which I think is the beauty of music, right?
Yeah, we should talk about it, because I think that's more of a conversation.
It's like, oh, this puts me in this kind of place, and I'm feeling this, and even songs, I'll listen to a couple months later the same song, and it hit me a different way.
Yeah, man.
It's more like
could be a different word. The word you don't notice that word the first time, and then all of a sudden it's like relates to what you need it to be in that moment. Yeah, that's the best.
And it was funny too. Well, the song, obviously, "Hello, I'm Delaware." I think I told you this, but that's kind of one of my sneaky pump-up songs.
Yes,
that
I know.
A lot of people would be like,
I was very
this
surprised.
kind of gets you going, and I was like, but something about it, it puts me in this place of so much feel that, and again, when I'm playing well, it's feel.
I will see you again. A long time from now.
It's a very sneaky pump-up song.
It's very sneaky.
Very quiet.
I would probably not put that on in the room. I don't know if Marner or Matthews would be like, what's going on here? But he
was like, if you're around on my cup party day, will you come and sing at my party, at my parents' house? And I was like, 100%. As much as I think people that were around him were like, wow, you're getting Dal to come sing. For us, me and my pals that went, it was like, we're going to go hang out with our buddy who just won the Stanley Cup. It was a surreal experience. I don't know if you remember this, but right before I was about to go sing at your cup party, we were standing there looking, all of your trophies were on the stage. And I was about to go up there, and you were like, Dal, this is crazy, man. I've been listening to you since I was in high school. I can't believe you're about to play. And I was like, this is crazy to you? I was like, look at all those trophies. I was like, this is crazy for me. I was like, I'm standing here about to go sing in front of the Stanley Cup.
It was great. It was great.
But it must be so difficult to not get too caught up in it and be like, okay, I did it, and still have to go back and find the drive and the the hunger to kind of keep going and do it again.
You get a taste of it, and it's just craving, like that. You crave it. You want to get back to there, and it's so challenging, and sometimes you overthink it. But one thing I think as I've got older is you realize you can't control winning. You can't control what people think. Especially too with this pressure around the city and such, like to win. There's, everyone's, we could be one of the favorites and such, but it's like, you got 15 other teams that think they have the pieces too. It's like,
absolutely,
it's not going to be wanting it or doing it. It's going to be the discipline and the details of it and pushing. But it's important too to celebrate.
Absolutely.
You have to feel it and feel everything about it, because it is, for me as a kid, that was the ultimate goal, and it still is again.
And he's one of many guys on that team that are from this area, or at least close to the area, that understands, I think, the passion that is behind the Leafs, and I think they must be aware that if they do win, we're going to tip the CN Tower over. I think he's aware of it, I think they all are.